So this was the first challenge that my late mentor, Red Burns, ever put before me. I spent the last 2 years of my life thinking about this, and it was really tough. So I'm just going to ask you to spend the next 5 minutes thinking about it as well. I grew up around healthcare. My father was an experimental surgeon, and as a kid I used to run around the hospital and cause a lot of trouble and look at things and see things. But that all came to an end when my father passed away, and he left behind thousands of medical records. And my mom's first language wasn't English, so at the age of 14 and for the next 7 years of my life, I had to take care of the legal obligation of taking care of those patient medical records. I guess for us we'd call it patient data, but I saw stories. Healthcare for me has always been about something more. It's not really about technology or politics, but something much deeper. So as a designer, a data nerd, and a systems thinker, I decided to go all out. I talked to doctors and patients and went to conferences and listened to lectures and looked at incentives and past failures, and I read books and papers with big words that didn't make sense. And I even talked to an expert on the future of the interface who told me to just blow it all up and start all over. And then I did covert ops at data conferences where I pretended to be a VC and asked a bunch of questions. And then I went back into time to the 1960s and charted and analyzed every major event that had occurred in healthcare until today, and I realized that nothing had ever been done in the best interest of the patient. And then I looked at a paper and took an algorithm from it and repurposed it, and they were trying to figure out who controls the world, and I just wanted to know who controls healthcare. And it was crazy, and I couldn't get this lingering question out of my head through all of this. And it was, why do hospitals have gift shops? I mean, really, why? There's allergens. There's a whole section filled with unhealthy sugar treats. There's even a part where there's dangerous items to purchase. There's designer clothes. It makes no sense. Borderline airport level prices, by the way. And you can't even check it on Foursquare. I tried. And there's not even any privacy. So it's the complete oxymoron of anything that a hospital or healthcare is supposed to be. So why do hospitals have gift shops? Well, it's because it makes people feel better. And I know it's a convenience and it's a money maker, but at the end of the day, it's about caring, and hospital and gift shops facilitate that. And caring is the fundamental human emotion that all relationships are based on. And so on one side, we have the gift shop, and on the other side, we have big data. One calculates and one imagines. So what is the problem with big data in healthcare today? Well, big data isn't hitting patients on that fundamental human level. We are designing more for machines than we are for the human being, and that's making people feel like nobodies in healthcare. So I want to talk to the somebodies in the room. That's you guys, the somebodies in big data. And I know I may not know all of you, but you all have a very specific set of skills you've acquired over very long careers, and you've become experts at big data. And so what if the somebodies in this room could help the nobodies feel like somebodies too? So what would happen if you designed tools that made big data as easy to use as it is to walk into a gift shop and buy a pack of M&Ms? Because this is what's happening today. We can't just expect quantified self-tools and things of that nature to just go and help people, and people are going to stick with them, or people will look at a dashboard and it'll completely change their behavior. That goes against the innate nature of what it is to be a human being. That's not what people are. That's not what people do. So we have to design tools that inspire people, educate them, and empower them without information overload. So imagination and calculation. What would happen if you actually combined the two instead of just having to pick between the two? And I know this is the house from up, but someone had to count all those balloons as well. It wasn't this guy, but this is Jake Porway. And he always used to tell me that at the end of the day, always remember that every piece of data and every single shred of information at the end of the day is tied to a real human being. So, in other words, what I would say is people scale. So it's people that'll scale to change the fate of healthcare. People scale, not petascale.